Alrighty, it is Monday night. I just got home from work. I showered. It is, don't have my watch on, but it's like almost 11. So I'm making my rice. I've already prepped my protein, so I'll eat that up. And then tomorrow we just have like an hour 15 on the bike and then some sort of runoff. I don't think it's a big one. And then gym, 100 pull-ups, shit like that. So deload week again, so shouldn't be a crazy week. And then next week, and then things are just gonna start picking up from here, but we're continuing to start picking up. But yeah, I'm gonna do that and then get to bed as soon as possible. Whoa, day 2 of week 4. I think we're on week 4 already. It's a deload week, so trying not to talk as much so I don't make this video like an hour long like last one. Just have an hour and 15 minutes on the bike into a 4-mile run. Nothing crazy. So that's what I'm doing right now. Super sweaty. Feels good though. Trying to just keep the power above 200 and have my heart rate not get super high. Just in like 130s, 140s, which might be high on the bike, but I don't really know. But yeah, so that's what we're doing right now. Yeah. Ho! It is Wednesday. I just got done, so this morning, woke up at 4:30. I had shoulders and back, 100 pull-ups, and then we did 2,200 yards in the pool, which they felt really good. We got an 8-mile run now, but the swim felt pretty solid. My average speed, or my pace, was like 145 per 100 yards, so still slow as shit, but it felt like I was going faster. I was like, oh, I feel like I'm going faster than... You can't actually see your pace until you finish the workout, which I don't like. There's parts of me that likes it, and there's other parts of me that don't like that. But in general, I'd rather just know what my pace is as I'm doing it. But yeah, it's slower than I honestly, I was like, maybe it'll be like a 39. But no, it's still in the 40s. But so I'm swimming with still just normal swim trunks, like your classic baggy shorts. So obviously there's some sort of drag associated with that. And then one thing I'm really good at is kind of hyperfixating on the thing that I'm currently doing. So right now that's triathlons. So I've been watching a fuck ton of YouTube videos just revolving around triathlon training and kind of the pros and the people that are very well known in that. So one of the dudes I've been watching a lot is Lionel Sanders. I think he's from Canada, but he lives in America. But I think he's kind of retired, but he still competes. But guy's got a wealth of knowledge. And so one of the things he was just mentioning in a random video, like he forgot his little Speedo, which I don't think I'm gonna get a Speedo. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. But he forgot his swim trunks, and then he was just wearing normal shorts to swim. And he was saying how his pace was like 10 seconds slower. So after hearing that, which was yesterday, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some swimming like tights or whatever, just like swim trunks for actually swimming. So then I'm like, okay, maybe that'll make me a little faster. It surely should help. It's not gonna hurt. And honestly, where I swim, that's what everyone wears anyways. Because I'm kind of like, well, I don't really want to walk around like that, but everyone else is wearing it. And I run in the half tights anyway, so what the hell's the difference? So yeah, so I'm definitely gonna do that. And then, so right now I just got home. I'm going to kind of refill a little bit and then do a little editing and then hopefully get running. It's 8:46. I'll be running before 10 o'clock. Ooh, just wrapped up those 8 miles. Those felt pretty good for yesterday. I had that brick workout. Now it was a smaller one. It was only an hour 15 into a 4-mile run. And then, but I also did legs after that. That felt good. That was one of the better runs I've had in a while. I also think I got a pretty solid night's sleep last night, even though I still went to bed. It's an issue because sometimes I don't get to bed when I have the chance. But I complain a lot about sleep. But yeah, that was a solid run. Pretty happy about that. But also what I wanted to say was it's my, whatever. I think you can see me better. But the daily read, I was thinking about it on the run. It's harder to daydream about what you think you could do as opposed to the hard of striving for what you could do or think you could do. So that's the daily read for tomorrow. Got to write that down. I'm gonna shower and eat first. But yeah, that one fires me up. I said I was going to try to talk less to make these YouTube videos shorter, but honestly, I don't care because these are for me. And if you watch them, that's great. And I love that. And I love you for that. But ultimately, I honestly really like making these. So I used to have 2 laptops. Now that laptop, that's my personal one, but it's kind of shitty. To be honest, I've had it all throughout college. But it still gets the job done. It's just really slow. But I've had 2 laptops ever since I left my job because I had my work laptop because I was still like quote unquote working for them a little bit, which when I first left I did, but then they haven't had any work. They've just been slow. And then I got a text from my boss the other day and he was like, hey, can you just bring the laptop back? Because honestly, we're slow. And I was like, yeah. And at first I was kind of like, damn, I liked having that laptop, but it was every time I saw it, because I mainly used that laptop, it was a constant reminder of that job and just of that period of time. And I didn't realize how kind of the weight almost that it kind of left on me, or that I carried with having that laptop just around, just existing in my apartment and me seeing it. And every time I'd log on, I would say like Oasis amenities. So I'd see the reminder every time I'd open up the computer. But I just dropped it off yesterday, and that was my first time being back in that office since I left that job back in March or April. I think March. I think mid-March, towards the end of March. But that's my first time being back in that office. Wow, these past few days, this whole period has been hard ever since leaving, but these past few days have been hard just because the prep is hard, and it's not that things aren't going my way, but things are very much going my way. But it's just like things take time, they take a lot of effort and all these things, but things are slowly beginning to form. But it's a slow process, it's a hard process, there's a lot of doubt, there's a lot of these things. So it's just hard. In general, it's just a hard time. But going back to that office, I didn't know, again, you're kind of like, oh, am I gonna be like, oh shit, I messed up? Or am I just gonna, wow, what a fire under my ass. Walking back in there and just dropping off that laptop. Driving away was like the complete, like, all right, severance, like, we're done. That chapter is completely behind me now. I don't have that lingering little piece, that fucking laptop hanging around, because I knew at some point I was gonna have to go back to give it back regardless, but completely done. And I was doing work for another company through my company as well. I just was like, I'm done too. I was like, I'm just gonna step away from everything. Sent them that email. I was like, I'm just gonna step away from all of this today. And then, yeah, so just completely stepped away from all that shit. Just like a relief. And I wasn't making I wasn't making jack shit that would make it worth to continue doing that with that added weight. Oh man. It was just such a great, beautiful, amazing reminder of why I'm doing everything that I'm doing. And a big reason for that is to just not live that lifestyle, that 9 to 6 in this dark cave of a fucking office, any office for that matter. Now there's some better than others, and I'm not demonizing that corporate lifestyle because it's a great lifestyle if that's what you want to do. I don't want to do that. So I say it's the devil. But it was the best reminder for me to have yesterday. And I had finished all my workouts. I didn't. So I went to the office and then I went and hit legs. And then I came home. I didn't have to do anything that night, like for coaching, or obviously I didn't have to go to work. And I was just like, I'm just going to take in the sensation of like, hell fucking yeah, you left that bitch. And then, yeah, just felt good. Felt good to not be working there anymore. And honestly, right when I started, 2 other people started. Both of those people are gone now. And they were the only people my age. Everyone else is a lot older, and just, wow. I don't know. I'm just glad I'm not there. I don't know. I was like, wow. It's like, good fucking job. Like this time again, it's hard. Serving is not like ideal, but it's not like bad. But yeah, we're just striving to live a life that I want, trying to get what I want out of my life because it's my life, and being there surely was not that. So that felt really fucking good, I'm not gonna lie, to just get rid of that laptop, get out of that fucking toxic ass fucking devil office. Woo! That period of time is in the past. Learned from it, lit a fire under my ass. Now I probably talked for an hour, but yeah, have a great day, and I'll see you Tomorrow's Thursday. I think I just have a bike. I think I'd just be on the bike tomorrow. Oh, hey, hello there, YouTube. I'm getting the bike set up. We got an hour and a half little easy ride. So we're gonna do it indoor because I want to see the power. So yeah, watch me set it up. I had someone on TikTok ask me how I set this up with the rear wheel so it doesn't slide. This is how. So I twist this to get that. So it's touching 1, 2, 3. Let me test this. So it's sliding, the wheel sliding on the roller, so I'll tighten it again. That's good. Very little, maybe a little bit more, but yeah, cool. I don't really know necessarily how to I don't know if I just suck or it's just that much harder on the bike or on the indoor trainer, because I'll ride same amount of time but I get a significantly less amount of mileage. I don't fucking know, but I just like seeing my power. So I don't know what I'm saying. I think I just suck. So cool. Why, hello there. I don't know. I think that last clip was kind of shitty, but so we just have an hour and a half on the bike. I'm gonna try to keep the cadence a little bit higher. Cadence meaning like the revolutions, the RPMs of my pedaling, go faster. One of the things I was trying to get at when I was saying like the indoor bike or the indoor ride's a lot harder, so I'm sitting at 15 miles per hour right now. Usually I'll average on like a normal ride 19, more often now 19 to 20, but it used to be like 18, 19, 20, which is fine, but obviously I want to make that faster. But here, so I'm averaging 15 miles per hour and I'm sitting around 200 watts. For me to get up to 20 miles an hour, it was over 400 watts. And to kind of maintain that, so I don't really know if this thing needs to be calibrated again. Probably wouldn't hurt. Or if that's like normal for this, but that's surely not accurate. And I can't imagine how that's accurate, because I'm not pushing over 400 watts outside, that's for goddamn sure. If I was, I'd be a pro, that's for sure. Yeah, so I don't really know like what the deal is with that. That's why now, like it'll tell me a distance, but I don't really take it for a real number. So I just look at the power when I'm indoor, which honestly on the bike is what's mainly important. Power in relation to your heart rate, I think, is a good kind of gauge. I don't really know, but yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing right now, or what I'm thinking about. But yeah, I definitely would like, it'd be nice to have a power gauge for outside, but whatever. Maybe in the future I can get some cool pedals to where I can do that. Which I also have a cadence sensor on this bike, but it won't connect. So I don't know, whatever. All right, cool, I'm gonna get this done. Oh, howdy, hey, how's it going over there? It's Friday. We wrapped up a leg day. Honestly, pretty light, mild leg day. My legs were still pretty, not sore, but just fatigued from the bike yesterday. And then I have a brick workout tomorrow, so there's no need to go and try to kill my legs today. And then we had a 2,200 yard swim. The swim went pretty well, actually. Or very well, I don't know. I was talking to this older gentleman, 77 years old. Phil is his name. He was giving me some pointers with my head position and then just with my kicking, but just those two things alone helped a lot. And a lot of people, when you're new to something, like everyone, which is always really nice, but everyone always wants to give their 2 cents. So at first you're kind of like, nah, you know, but then he's like competitive swimmer. Like if someone swam growing up and stuff like that and they're old like that, or just older or my age or whatever, and they've swam for a while, then I will take their advice. But a lot of people just want to give like some random ass advice. I'm like, there's a certain point where you just have to block some of it out. because yes, it's nice, but it gets to be too much at times. So try to be picky choosy with kind of just who I listen to be completely honest. But took the guy's advice and it was solid and it helped. But basically it was the head position. So when I first started swimming, I was talking to this older guy again, and then he was like, you gotta put your head down further in the water, like more streamlined, and then it'll kind of level your body out, because as opposed to being like this, you want to be more like this, more hydrodynamic, or just less drag, because if you're swimming like this, obviously there's more drag as opposed to being like this. So fixing your head position will help with that. So I guess I initially had my head too high, and then this guy was like, your head's too low. Because apparently the water was kind of coming more up to this part of my head. He's like, it should kind of be coming more to here. So that's what I did. And then it's kind of easy, actually, easier than you would think to kind of figure out that position, because you can feel the water hitting your head. And then when I'd get in, I'd be like, okay, water here, water here. And that helps. And then I do believe what he was saying, because when you watch people, like people swimming, I've been watching a lot of triathlon shit. Like when you watch them swim, their head isn't completely underwater. The water, they're honest with their head, the water is kind of coming right around here. That like part of their head sticking out right there. So you can like see their swim cap. So I was like, okay, that's fair. I'll take that advice. And then basically it was like, you're just kicking too low, which I think part of the reason is I was probably bending my knees a lot more, when in reality, I don't really think you're supposed to do that much at all. I think the kick is more from the hips. So I think I moved away from that. And then, yeah, just trying to be more conscious of everything when I'm swimming. So not letting my hands go like sideways, because obviously if you're gonna move more water like this as opposed to like this, you wanna move more water, make it go faster. But that also will burn out your rear delt. So it's like all about pacing yourself, stuff like that. So trying to put all the little pieces together while I'm swimming. And then one of the things I was thinking about is when I'm running, I can kind of zone out and just run, and I don't really have to put much thought into how I'm running. Especially like when I'm just doing like a longer run and I'm not supposed to be hitting any paces or anything. I'm just kind of out there to run and then let my body settle into a pace. And then my mind likes to wander, which I don't mind. But when I'm swimming, I noticed that today. I was like, my mind likes to wander. Like, this is what I was thinking as I was swimming. I was like, your mind likes to wander, but when you wander, your form kind of starts to fall apart. So I'm not at the level, like I'm not good enough, or maybe you never are. Like even the good swimmers, they still are always so aware of like every little thing they're doing, but I'm surely not at the point where like my mind can wander while I'm swimming, because I still need to put all these pieces together as I'm swimming to make one whole composition or something. So just being much more present in the actual swim. So like, okay, your hands are doing this, making a little splash, your hips are blah, 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 you're doing this, you're breathing, blah, 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 all these little things. So putting those all together and actually being aware of them while I'm doing it, and that way I don't start having my form fall apart. I would bring the camera and like film me swimming, but one, I'm still like, it's kind of awkward, and then two, there's always a lot of like little kids running around. There's like old people and then a lot of little kids where I swim. So I'm sure I don't know, but I don't want to be caught filming little kids. I think that would be really fucking weird. So for that alone, I probably will never do it, but maybe whatever, I don't know. I would like to film more of my actual workouts for YouTube. So like the bike stuff could be a little bit easier, or like when I'm doing it indoor, but I mean, I'm not going to bring this camera on a run, nor am I going to bring it on a long bike ride outside. So there is that, but try to film more. I'll try to focus more on like the actual workouts, whether it's just before and after. And if I can get stuff during, like on the indoor bike, then I'll do that. But because right now I feel like all I do is just talk. And if you like that, that's awesome. But I feel like you'll probably get bored of that. Or I could show like food stuff too. Because there's no real time limit with these videos. So yeah, well, I guess food stuff, I'm gonna eat a pound of beef and rice in a minute with some eggs, because I haven't eaten breakfast yet and it's 1:06. But, well, that's the thing with training like this, is like I don't want to eat big meals and then go swim or something. So that's why like having your diet's a lot different training for endurance stuff than like bodybuilding type stuff, like, which is what I was always kind of geared towards. So carb heavy for sure. So that's why that G1M, like these carb mixes, are really important. And just kind of eating things that digest quickly, carbs, to fuel your workouts. So yeah. Also, this is the same day as that last clip. My knee's been getting a lot better. It's pretty much to the point where it's not perfect, but it's good. I need to start implementing speed workouts again, because pretty much all my runs for this entire prep have just been long runs with not much kind of direction. Just go out, don't kill yourself, but push. Usually I've just kind of been pushing to what feels comfortable, especially given just all the load of everything. But I need to start implementing speed workouts again, especially because after this Ironman, November 1st, I want to try and still do another marathon by the end of the year, and that marathon has to be under 3 hours. It's just gotta be. However, I do think my conditioning is gonna be really, really good, especially because you're spending so much time on the bike. You're spending hours on the bike with your heart rate 130s, 140s, which is all just like zone 2 training. And when you're doing the marathon, that's what a lot of your training is, and then you're doing speed work. So I need to implement speed work within my runs on these during this prep, and then because that's one of the good ways to get faster, alongside of the zone 2 type training, so building up that cardio. But that's something that I need to start doing, and I need to look at getting ready for Saturday Bricky Brick. Still deload week, so it's funny how like 2.5 hours isn't seem like that crazy anymore, but 2.5 hours on the bike into a just 2-mile run. I might do 3, but I don't know, it's not gonna be anything big of a deal. But I changed a couple things. A few things I don't know, I changed, holy crap, I can't talk. Couple things I wanna change on the bike. So I just tilted the bottle holder on the seat backwards as opposed to having the bottle straight up. It'll be at an angle, so hopefully a little bit more aerodynamic. And then I'm gonna slide my seat. My seat's all the way forward, as you can see. I'm gonna slide it back just a little bit because I feel like I'm really crammed on the bike. Because when I'm watching, when I'm seeing like other kind of like pro level triathletes and stuff like that, like I'm looking at their seat position, they don't look as cramped. And I feel like I'm really crammed on my bike. So I'm gonna move the seat back a little bit. This is why I'm like, well, is a 54 too small? Should I have gotten a 56? I don't know, but I listened to the dude that was like, I don't think you need a 56. God, I look like all over the fucking place. So yeah, I don't really know, but yeah, so I'm gonna move that back a little bit, see how that feels. But Allen wrenches are in my car, so I don't have one. I have some up here, a couple up here, but not ones that will fit that hole. So got those in my car. I'll move that back, but throw the bike on the car, and then we're gonna get going, bud. 93 degrees outside. I adjusted my seat. I literally haven't done shit, and I'm just like drenched in sweat. I'm already drenched in sweat. But of course, like every little fucking thing on the seat just like falls apart. So I was standing out there for like 20 minutes trying to fuck with a stupid seat. Anyways, let's finally go, because now it's 1:06 in the afternoon. Can't seem to get these damn brick workouts done before 5 p.m. You know what? I'm the only one to blame for that. My apologies. I was a little salty in that last clip. I really need to work on not getting frustrated and not letting those things bother me as much as they do. However, we are almost there. I stopped at the gas station. I got some water and a Cliff Bar, which actually I didn't mention this, but I was pretty much out of G1M. I think I had just enough for a scoop. I don't know, I just kind of dumped it into the bottle. And then I had some on order, and it wasn't supposed to be here until Tuesday, and then I got an email and it was like delivered, like as I was about to leave my place. So I was like, that's perfect. So I have enough G1M, which is cool. But yeah, let's get this thing going, bud. All right, wrapped up that brick workout. Bikes, everything's all packed up. I'm filming this now because I'm trying to stop sweating a little bit before I get in my car, but 2.5 hours on the bike, 2-mile run. I think that was a pretty solid little workout. Keep saying little, which makes me underestimate a workout, which is never necessarily a good thing, but in general, I think that went pretty well. I think I could always feel more. I was just to err on the less just because of money. Literally, just that's the only reason. But whatever, is what it is. But in general, it went really well. It's really hot. When I was fixing my bike seat before the ride, I was standing in the sun for like a couple minutes and I was already dripping sweat. Pretty sure I actually made a clip about that because I was all pissed off, naturally. But that seat position change did seem to help a lot. I do think so. At the start of it, I was like averaging 21 miles an hour, which I think is good. I don't know, that's like the only kind of frame of reference I have, that and my heart rate for when I'm riding. I don't have a power thing. But I was just trying to keep my heart rate around like 150, give or take, which I did. Actually, I don't know what my average heart rate was on that, but I should look. But then, yeah, so that went well. It rained like 3 separate times. The first time it rained, it got to the point where I was like, okay, I need to stop because I couldn't see. And I was like, because when it's wet out, your brakes don't really work because the rim gets wet, and then to slow down, to come to it like a stop and you're going like 20 miles an hour, it takes like fucking 30 feet, it feels like. So there's that, which isn't a big deal because you're on a trail, but you just straight up couldn't see. So I was like, I'm just gonna pull over, and then it stopped in like a couple minutes because that's usually how Florida works. Because it was like raining and sunny, so you're like, all right, well, this is gonna pass. And it did. And then you get to a point where it wasn't even raining, like a mile out. But yeah, so that was good. Really thirsty per usual. I guess, again, I think that's just normal, I guess. It's something you have to kind of have to deal with on the bike. And yeah, the run went well, 2 miles. My quads were definitely feeling it after the ride. So there's that. And then I could feel like towards the end of the run, my quads like wanting to cramp a little bit. But I think, again, I was just sweating so much because it was really humid. It was like 93 degrees when I started. It cooled off a little bit, and when it was raining, it did feel good, so that was nice. But yeah, so I think just kind of hydrate more, or like electrolytes a little bit better, and then carb up always, of course, can do that more. And then, yeah, I'm gonna head to Publix now. I'm gonna get some water and probably some bananas and milk, and then gonna go home. Got 100 pull-ups and back and shoulders. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna shower first though. Good morning. I kind of slept like crap last night, I'm not gonna lie. But it's Sunday morning-ish. It's like 7 o'clock. Going down with 2 scoops of G1M. We just got 10 miles. It's kind of cool because like been running long enough to where now I'm like, 10 miles ain't that bad. I kind of like 10 miles. I think it's a good distance because it's sometimes, I mean, obviously I enjoy running to some degree, so sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to keep going. But 10 miles is like a good distance to where it's not crazy. You're not running like 15, 20 miles, but it's also not like a 5-mile run where you're kind of like, I feel like I just got started when you finish. So I think 10 miles is usually always a good distance as long as I don't feel like crap. And for whatever reason, my workout last night was amazing. I don't really know, because I still burned on the bike. I burned 3,500 calories yesterday. Excuse me. On the bike, I burned like 25, and then from running 2 miles, probably burned like 150, 200 calories. Probably 200 some calories. But then all I ate between the brick workout and my actual workout, I finished the workout a little after 6, and then I went to Publix. I had 2 little protein shakes, so that was 60 grams of protein between those. And then I had these, like, they're like the no BS bars, or the RX bars. It's just like the ingredients are just like dates, almonds, fucking coconut oil, like whatever, like really solid ingredients. So I had one of those. It's like 24 grams of carbs or something like that, or 23. And then I had a banana, or like 2 bananas, which I guess carb wise, I don't know how many carbs are in like a singular banana. It's like 20 maybe, but 30, maybe that's on the high end. But that's all I ate between the brick and my workout, and I had a great workout. I feel like it's really hit or miss, because sometimes I'll go work out after doing some sort of endurance thing, and it's an awful workout, but I still get it done because it's like I'm there. I'm just gonna at least go through the motions. no matter how I feel. And then I still got to get the 100 pull-ups because I don't like, obviously I have the pull-up bar and I can do the pull-ups here, but I don't like doing them here. Something about it just makes it feel that much harder. Even though today that's what I'm going to do, is the 100 pull-ups here. Unless I go somewhere, sometimes I'll like drive. There's a pull-up bar by the water that I'll do them at, but it's only if that's like convenient and I have the time to do that. Also, I cut up a red onion last night. I like onions, I like red onions, but damn, it smells like onions right here, like right now. I don't like that. But anyways, I'm getting ready for a 10 miler. So I got 2 scoops of G1M here. Coffee in my my French press. It's like cold brew because I have the ground sitting there for 24 hours. Pour that, and then when I pour it right now, I'll put new grounds in there, put water, and it just sits till tomorrow. And that's how I do that. It's really easy. It works well. Yeah, we're gonna get about doing that stuff. Ooh, and this marks the end of week 4 of Ironman prep, deload week at 10 miles. They weren't too bad, but man, it was only, I say only, but it was 88 degrees, which I feel like for Florida shouldn't be that hot, but wow, that heat was heating. It's so hot. It's so hot. It's crazy. But other than the heat, the run felt pretty good. My legs are heavy, but that's just to be expected. And 2 things with that, because one, I was thinking about it, I was like, man, it sucks. I was like, I wish I could run when my legs are fresh, because I feel like I'd be really fast. Because even, I think I averaged like a 7:17, but honestly that last mile I really fell off. I think I ran like an 8-minute mile, which is fine. That's fine. But like I'm still running decent times, given like just my legs are tired and it's really hot. But on like a good day and my legs are fresh, I think I'm really excited for the marathon. I think I'm going to be in really good shape, because you even see like the pro level triathletes. I don't know if there's anyone that's in better shape than like a pro triathlete that I can think of, because they're doing all this. So say for a full Ironman, which is like, I think the longest distance triathlon, at least that I know of, but 2 mile swim, 112 on the bike. They'll go into that marathon, they'll run like a 240, a 230 marathon, which is fucking insane. And they're doing that after all that, which is like crazy. And they'll be like, oh, I only ran a 246 I was like, I'm like, oh my God. Like, I truly don't know if there's anyone in better shape, because it's all different. Each kind of activity or each discipline has like a different little, I don't know the right word. My brain's kind of fried from the heat. But I really don't think there's anyone in better shape than a triathlete, like a pro level one. So that makes me really excited doing all this training, especially on the bike, because you'll be sitting on the bike for hours in like zone 2 or maybe like low zone 3. I don't remember what the zones are, but in 130s, 140s, 150s, like that's all what you're doing during marathon prep, other than like speed work, because obviously speed work, your heart rate gets pretty high. Which, speaking of, I need to implement speed work now that my knee's better. So I'll hopefully be adding that in, maybe not this week, but next week. Start getting at least like 1 speed session in each week in terms of running. But yeah, I think come the marathon, I think it should be undeniable that I get under 3 hours, even if it is 2:59. But I feel like I'll be able to get like a 2:50, maybe I could go 55, 56, that would be sick. But regardless, I think I'm gonna have it. I'm not going to say I'll have it in the bag, because I don't want to be complacent again, or just get in over my head again. But I think I'm definitely going to be able to get it. So that makes me really excited. And then the other thing with having heavy legs, like that's how it's going to be when I go into the marathon on race day. My legs aren't going to be fresh after the swim and the bike. So kind of training like that and getting your body used to it and understanding kind of how to, like your body understanding how to, your body's adapting to flushing out your legs and getting in, removing that lactic acid buildup, getting in blood flow and all that stuff. So as you kind of run on fatigued legs and tired legs, your body adapts to that and figures out how to make that less bad. Very scientific explanation, I know. Very smart. But nonetheless, 10 miles deload week over. This week's gonna be another hard one. I don't know. Tomorrow's just a swim, like 2,500 meters. So it is a pretty decent, it'll be like, maybe like 26 or 20, probably like 2,700 yards, something along those lines. I have to do the conversion, but it should be right around there. So that's all I have for tomorrow. And then, yeah, so we're chugging away day by day. Have a great day. This will be up, so today's Sunday, this will be up on Sunday. I still have to edit it all, and my laptop's really slow, but we'll get her done. Don't worry, we're gonna get her done. I gotta eat and shower first though.